Good evening, guys. In the today's morning session, we have implemented Angular application for our IES project. So backend admin API is running, and for that front end we are building by using Angular. In the today morning class, we are able to implement create user account and view accounts. Today we are going to work on edit functionality and status change functionality. Okay, create account. So now already there are 3 accounts created. Those are available in our database. Ashok Ramu Gani is available. Let me create one John account. John @gmail.com. John@gmail.com. Some phone number I'm giving, gender, date of birth, SSN number, role. I have added the role drop down. For the John, I am giving the drop down caseworker. So John will be created as a caseworker in our system. Click on submit. Account is created. Go to view accounts. Now you can see John record is created. Okay. So you can create the account by choosing the role. Now go to the database. Earlier 3 records available. Now check the table. If you see the table, John record is created. For the John, role is coming as 2. Role 2 means John is a caseworker. Role 1 means administrator. Role 2 means caseworker. Okay. Now I want to implement account status change. Okay. For all the records, it is giving as an active button. For all the records, it is giving as an active button. As per our requirement, the button should be displayed based on the current status. Now, if you see, the current status is Y means active, N means inactive. So what I need to do is, if the record is already active, I need to display deactivate button. If the record is already deactivated, I need to display activate button. So based on the conditions, I need to display the button here in the view accounts page. So view accounts page is coming based on account list component. So if you go to account list component .html, here we are having a button. Here we are having a button. Edit account is available and activate account button is available. For all the records, activate is coming. I want to change this based on the current status of the record. I want to change this functionality based on the current status. If the current status is Y, that means it is active record. I need to display deactivate button. If the current status is N, that means it is already deactivated. I need to display activate button. How to do that? In order to do that, we need to add ng if directive. Okay. So how to add ng if directive? So ng if directive by using ng container concept. In the Angular, there is a ng container concept is available. ng container. So what is the purpose of ng container? To write if else concept. To write if else concept, we are going for ng container. So in the ng container, I'm going to write ng if. ng if is equal to currently my account object status active switch. If active switch is equal to Y. If active switch is equal to Y, then I want to perform some operation. Or else I want to do some other operation. If account active switch is equal to N, then I want to perform activate. Okay. Else I want to perform deactivate. Else I want to perform deactivate. Else deactivate. So this is a container concept. Deactivate, something like this. This is my ng container. In the ng container, what I am telling, if current active switch is equal to N, then activate. 1 minute. Then activate the record. Are you guys getting my point? Else deactivate the record. So like this, I'm going to configure. Then activate, else deactivate. ng container. ng container, ng if account.account active switch is equal to N. Okay. If the account active switch is equal to N, then I want to activate that record. Else, I want to deactivate that record. So then ng container will be closed. So what is the meaning of this? If account status active switch is equal to N, I want to execute activate, else I want to execute deactivate. How to do this? Here, for this we are going to create ng template. We are going to create ng template. This ng template is used for activate concept. Now I'm going to specify activate. So the button should be activated. For this, active should come. Now here I have given the active now. So when this condition is satisfied, the active template will execute. When this condition not satisfied, deactivate template will execute. Now execute this ng template here. This template should be for deactivate. Now I need to deactivate that by using n deactivate. So this is the logic we are writing to display the buttons based on the condition. This is the logic we are writing to display the buttons based on the condition. So what I am doing, I'm creating ng container. For the ng container, I'm giving two templates. One is active template, another one is a deactive template. So what I am doing, ng if directive I am using to manipulate the DOM element. I'm checking the current account active switch. If the active switch is N, that means deactivated, then you activate it. Otherwise, you deactivate. So if the condition is true, N means activate, then activate button should be displayed. If it is Y, then deactivate button should be displayed. This is ng container with a template concept. Save it. Now go to our application. Now you see activate, deactivate is coming. For activate, I want to give the button as a success. For deactivate, I want to give the button as a danger. Now give the button as a danger. Now you see opposite status is displaying or not? Guys, are we able to get the opposite status button? John record is active. For that, deactivate option is coming. The remaining records are deactivated. For them, activate button is coming. Are we able to get the opposite status button? Current status, opposite button will come. Are you getting my point? Are you getting my point? Whatever the current status is available, for that opposite it is coming. How it is coming opposite? That is the condition. When I am displaying the buttons in my template, I am writing ng container. If active switch is equal to N, then activate template should execute. Else deactivate template should execute. For activate template, I am giving activate button with the status as Y. If it is already deactivated, it should be activated with the status as Y. N is available, Y should be updated. Y is available, N should be updated. Opposite we are doing. Opposite we are doing. This is the UI logic. Now, refresh this page. Records are coming. Let me click on, for this, Ramu record is available. Ramu record is active. Now you check in the database also. Ramu record status is N. That means it is deactivated. For that, activate option is coming. Let me activate the Ramu record. I have clicked on activate for the Ramu record. Go to the database. See here, Ramu record got activated. Earlier, Ramu record is deactivated. Now Ramu record is activated. When the account is activated, deactivate button is coming for that. Now two records are active, two records are deactive. Two records are active, two records are deactive. Now you check in the database, select star from account, N for two records, Y for two records. So are we able to update the account status? Present status opposite we are doing. Present status opposite we are doing by using ng container concept with the ng template. Good. So with this we are good here, and we need to work on the remaining part, that is edit functionality. Create account is completed, view accounts completed, activate, deactivate is also completed. Now what I need to do? Now let me activate all the records. Every record is activated. That's why for all the records, deactivate is coming. All the records are active. deactivate option is coming. That's fine. Now I want to edit the record and I want to update the record. Click on edit, nothing is coming. When I click on edit, I'm not getting anything. Now I need to write the logic to edit the record. What should happen when I click on the edit record? When I click on the edit record, this particular record should be displayed in the editable mode. There I should be able to update the record. But with that, fraud operations will be completed. Now, when I click on edit, you observe the URL. When I click on edit, it is going to edit component. But in the edit component, do we have any logic? Component edit is available. Account edit component. In this account edit component, there is no logic available. We should write the logic in the edit component. Okay, let's start building the logic for the edit component. So in the edit component, what we need to do is, first we need to write a method to get the account based on the ID. We need to get the account based on the ID. So first for that, let me inject my service, private account service. It should communicate with the service to fetch the data, comma, we need to get the router. Private router is required to route the page, okay, comma, and we need active router to get the path parameter value. Private active router, that is activated router object. So this is my constructor. Okay, in my constructor there are three arguments available. One is account service object, one is normal router to route the request, and activated router. What is the purpose of activated router? Activated router is used to accept the value coming in the query parameter. When you click on edit, the value coming in the query parameter, to capture that query parameter value, we need the activated route object. I got the activated route object. Now, when you click on the edit, I need to get the record and I need to display the record in the editable mode. For that, let me write one function called getAccount. So what is the purpose of this function? It is used to get the account. So to get the account, we need the ID. So let me declare one ID here as a variable. ID colon number is equal to 0, default value. Now, this dot ID, I need to capture the ID from the query parameter. To capture the ID from the query parameter, this dot active route dot snapshot dot value. So from the active route, I need to get that value, right? So that is params. So the value is coming as a parameter with the ID. That is my query parameter. So from the active router, I need to get the ID that is declared as a query parameter. With this ID, we are going to get that ID we are storing into current class variable. Once we got this ID, let us call our service method. This dot account service dot get account by ID. Get account by ID. Let me pass this dot ID dot subscribe. It is going to give us some data. Let us access that data. Let us store that data into current class variable. Account colon account is equal to, but we are going to create one empty account object. In that object, we are going to store the data that we are getting. This dot data is equal to data. Sorry, this dot account is equal to data. This is the method. What is the purpose of this method? This method is accepting value from the activated router. That is a query parameter value. With that value, it is calling our service method, and service method is giving the account object. That user ID, based on the account ID, we are getting the account object. That account object data I am storing into this binding object. This binding object. Are you clear with my point? This is used to fetch the data. Now, I want to call this method by default whenever this component is executed. For that, implements on init. So there is an interface on init. So whenever we implement this interface, we need to override a method called ng on init method. This dot get account. So whenever this component is executed, I want to call this init method so that it will get the account based on the ID. It will store that account into account object. Now I want to display that account object data in the template. For that UI is required. So whatever the UI we are writing for create component, same UI will work. Now I have that UI here. UI page is there. You just need to take this UI. It will display the form data in the editable mode. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing else. Okay. This is account editor template file. This data. It is used to populate the data based on the binding object. Currently, update account method is not available. Leave it. Leave it. Okay. Update account one method it is expecting. Let me write one dummy method for now. No logic available. We have to write the logic to update the record. And it is expecting a message. Message also leave it. Later we can write it. This is our form. This form is used to display the record in the editable mode. When I click on edit concept, when I go and edit the record, click on edit, then that particular record coming in the editable mode. You see the beauty? You see the beauty. Whenever we are clicking on edit, edit is mapped to one route. Edit is mapped to one route with the account ID. So when you click on this edit, it is going to edit /4. Fourth record is John record. Now you check in the database whose ID is 4. ID 4 is belongs to John record. John record is coming in the editable. Suppose if you go and see the account Ramu record, ID is 2. When you click on edit, then Ramu record is coming in the editable mode. When you click on 3, Gani record is coming in the editable mode. So what we have done to edit that record, just in the account edit component, I have written one function. That function will be called by default when this component is executed. That function will be called by default when this component is executed. Clear? This is account edit component. This is implementing on init. When we implement on init, this method we are going to override. What is the purpose of this method? Whenever this component is loaded, this method will be called. In this method, I am calling get account method. What get account method will do? Get account method will take the path parameter. This is the logic to take the path parameter. With that path parameter, we are calling the service method. Service method will give the object. That object I am storing into the variable. That variable we are displaying in the, that variable we are using in the form binding. So the data will come in the editable mode. The data is coming in the editable mode. With this, edit functionality is good. Now I need to update it. I need to update it. How to do that update? So whenever this form is submitted, update account function should be called. In the account edit component, I need to implement the logic to update the account. So what is the logic we need to write to update the account? Very simple. Okay. Already account object is mapped to a data binding. If they change anything, it is reflecting in the account object. So what we will call here, this dot account service dot create account by passing this dot account object dot subscribe. So whatever the data that we are getting, that data I need to store into one variable to display as a success message. So message colon string is equal to empty. Okay. Take the message. That message I will store. This dot message is equal to data dot to string. This dot message is equal to data dot to string. That's it. Already our service method is ready. We just need to call our service method by using update account. That's it. Already our service method is ready. We need to call our service method when update account function is called. So this form is binded to update account function. Whenever you do the submit, then it will call update account. What is update account will do? It is calling the service method create account, because to create the account or to update the account, same function, same function, right? Go to our service. Is there any separate function for that? Create account, get account, update account status is there. To update the account status, separate method. To update the whole account, create account method you can call, reusing the function. Whatever the response we are getting from update account, same response I'm converting into toString. I'm storing into message variable. This message I need to display the account edit form, account edit component HTML. I need to write the message. That is message. Interpolation. Whatever the data you store in the message variable, that data will be reflecting in the UI with the interpolation. All right. So with this, it is ready. Save this, close it. Application is running. Go here, create account, view accounts. For the John, phone number is 1234. Even in the database also, John phone number is 1234, guys. I need to change it. Okay. Edit the John record. Change the phone number from 1234 to some 976543221. Some different number I am giving. Okay. Click on update. We are getting account updated. Go to the John record, phone number updated. Can we see the John record phone number is updated? Can we update the SSN for the John? Click on edit. SSN is 123456. Let me make it as 987654321. Click on update. Account is updated. View accounts, John, SSN update. Same thing can I do for Ramu? Ramu phone number is 111. Edit that. Phone number is 111. Let me make it as 222. Click on update. Ramu phone number is updated to 322. Ramu SSN is 111. Let me make it as 333. Update. View accounts. Ramu SSN is updated. So are we able to edit the records? Are we able to edit and update the record? Ram Ashok IT record is there. Phone number is available. Let me give some phone number 9985296677. Update. Ashok IT phone number is updated. Yes, phone number is updated. So with this, we are able to edit the account and we are able to update the account. We are able to create the account. We are able to activate and deactivate the account also. We are able to activate and deactivate the accounts also. Are you clear? Currently, all the records are active. You can check it. What is the active switch? The active switch is white. For the John, I want to deactivate the record. John record is active now. I want to deactivate the John record. How to deactivate the John record? Let me click on deactivate. Already it is active. That's why deactivate is coming. Let me click on deactivate. Then go to the database. Check it. John record got deactivated. John record got deactivated. That's why activate button is coming. Activate button is coming. Are you guys able to understand this? Are you guys able to understand this? So with this, what we have completed? With this, what we have completed? In the admin, account management is completed. We are able to create the account. We are able to view the account. Let me go to the menu. There is create contact. I need to change it to create account. The menu items are there. It is create account. Okay. It is create account. Create account, view accounts. Now, create account, view accounts available. Okay. So similarly, you can develop application registration, view applications, register application, view applications we can develop, and DC screens and report screens are available. So I want to develop a screen for report. We have developed report API. Our first mini project is available now. report API is available. Can we develop UI for the report API in this application? I want to develop the UI for two modules. One is admin, second one is report. Can we develop UI for the report? When I click on the report page should come. Report component should be executed. So when I click on the report component should execute. So there we need to have the option to display plan name, plan status, gender, dynamic filter we need to implement. Our report API is already available. We need to fetch the data from our report API. Are you guys able to understand? Now, I want to develop the logic for the report. Okay, so let me go and create a component, guys. Let me stop my application. I need to create a component for the report. New component I want to create. Account components available. Report component I have to create. ng generate reports. ng generate component reports. A new component is creating. Sorry, I have given the spelling mistake. NGGC reports. Let me delete the reports. I don't need it. I want to create perfect reports. Spelling mistake. I'm correcting them. Okay. ng generate component reports I'm creating. All good. Now, reports is created. Somewhere there is an error. Router outlet having the issue. app.module.ts reports component removed. Yeah, reports component got created. Spelling mistake is there in the previous one. I have deleted. Now issue got resolved. Okay, reports component created. I want to give a routing for that. So what is the routing for that? When the path is reports, I want to map that to a component called reports component. I want to map that to a component called reports component. Now go to app component.html. In the menu, I need to give the router link for the report. The router link for the report is reports. Okay. Whenever we click on the reports component should be executed. Let me go for my CMD. Let me run this application. ng serve. I have created a new component. I configured router for that report. If you see in the routing module, when the path is reports component should be executed. A new component is created, which does not have any logic now. We need to create the logic. The reports component currently it is empty. No data is available. Reports component HTML, just report page is there. I'm trying to start my project. It is building. A new component generated. Okay, good. Create account, view accounts. Go to report works. That means the component is working, guys. Report component is working. Now we need to write the logic for the report component. So what logic we need to write for the report component? For the report component, we need to build a report page. So as we discussed in our mini project, so there should be a page. You can select plan name in the drop down. You can select plan status in the drop down. You can click on the search button. So when I select only plan name, based on the plan name, I should get the response. Okay. I think in our mini project FDD, I have given that requirement. Already we implemented that. The backend API is available for reports API. We need to build a UI for that. Go for that is our first mini project we developed, right? First mini project FDD. Go here. Yes, this is FDD. I need to develop like this. Plan name, plan status, gender. One UI page is required. So in that plan name, plan status, gender will be available. Based on that, we need to search and the report should come there. Okay. So for this, we need to write the code. Okay. We need to create one binding class to map the data, request data, and response data. Request binding will be available. Response binding will be available. So what data will go in the request? Name, status, gender, dates will go in the request. Plan name, plan status, gender. You can click on only plan name. You can click on search. Based on the plan name, data should come. You can select name status and click on search. Based on the both records, response should come. You can click on only gender. You can click on search. Based on the gender, response should come. So that UI we need to develop. Back in the previously in the first mini project we used Timeleaf as a front end. Now I want to use Angular as a front end. I want to add the report page here. Okay, account pages are ready. Create account, view accounts are ready. Similarly, I want to create the report. Report page should come. I should be able to get the reports from our backend application. Backend application report REST API will be available. In the front end, we need to write the logic. Angular logic we need to write for that. So first of all, for the report, what is required? Now, if you go to our template, basically our FDD is available. You can see the FDD reports available here. Now. So these are the drop downs: plan name, plan status, gender, dates. When I click on search, that particular citizens information should come. So this is our request form and this is our response. Report request, report search request, and report results we need to create as a binding classes. One request binding class, one response binding class. What is the purpose of request binding class? It is used to send the request with the form data. And when you click on search, response will come. To display the response data, one binding class is required. So one class is used to send the request data for search criteria. Basically, one class is required to send the search criteria. One class is required to get the response. Request class, response classes are required. Component is ready. When you click on the report, that component is loading, but there is no logic for that. There is no logic for that. And here we need to create another service. Now here account service is available. It contains the methods related to account. Now similarly, we need to create report service. We need to create report service. Now let me go here, and what we need to do is create report component. Create reports component. How to create the report component in the existing application? Ng generate component reports. With this we are good. Reports component is created. Then configure route path for reports component in app.module.ts file. In app.module.ts file, we are configuring routing. If you see app.routing.module.ts in app.routing.module.ts file, I have configured reports path. So when the path is reports, I want to call this component. Okay. Next one, we need to configure reports in the menu item. So in the app.component.html, in the menu item, I'm configuring the router link. So whatever the menu options are available for us. So along with the view accounts, create account, one more menu is available, report works. That menu is activated. That menu is working. Now next one, we need to create request search report request class. Create report request class. That means search criteria. Report search criteria. Report search criteria class. It is binding class. Then next one, create report response. What is the response we are getting? That response class also we have to get. Basically, what response we'll get? Eligibility response we are going to get. Report search criteria, report response class we have to create. And we need to write the variables for that. Now, let me go and create that class here. How to create those classes? ng generate class report request, a report criteria, report search criteria, report search criteria, creating a class, report search criteria. In that class, we need to write the variables. Now, report search criteria class got created. In this class, we need to write the variables. What variables we need to write? We are going to send the plan name, plan status, gender, and dates. Right? Let me write plan name colon string is equal to value. Plan name colon string is equal to value. Then plan status colon string is equal to some value. Private gender colon string is equal to some value. Private start date colon string is equal to some value. Then private end date colon string is equal to some value. Got it? Then let me write a constructor. That's it. This is our set criteria. Then what about the response? Report response. We are going to create one more class. ng generate class report response. What are the response we are getting from the report that we are going to represent by using report response class. Reports response.ts class is created. In this class, we need to write the variables. What is the response we are getting? If you see our template, okay, what is the response? Name, email, mobile number, gender, SSN, plan name, plan status, whatever the data that you want. Private, what is that? Name we are getting. That is our full name, colon string, private, full name colon string is equal to some dummy data. Private, email, colon string is equal to some empty value. Private, full name, email, mobile number, that is a number is equal to some value. Private, number means it is 0. I need to represent as a 0. Then private, SSN, that is also a number, 0. Private, plan name, what is the plan they applied? String. Private, plan status. Plan status is also a string value. And private, plan name, plan status. Private, benefit amount. What is the benefit amount they are getting? That is also a number. Okay. Private, denial reason. If they are denied due to some reason, because of which reason they got denied, the denial reason also will be available in the eligibility. Okay. Full name, email, mobile number, SSN, name, status, amount, reason. What data that you want to display in the response, those variables we can take. So like this, we are creating one report set criteria class and report response class. Create report service. Create report service. Got my point? Now, how to create the report service? ng generate service report. Report service will be created. Go and create the report service. ng generate service report. Report service class will be created. Why report service class? Report service class is used to communicate with our backend application. Okay. Report service is created. Report service.ts. Report service class created. Inside the report service class, we need to import HTTP client object. Private HTTP client colon HTTP client to make a backend request. Now we are going to write a method, get report data. So for report data, we are going to pass report search criteria. report search criteria, that object I need. Based on what criteria we need to get the data. Report search criteria, colon, observable of report response will come. Report response array, because list of records will come there. Report response array will come, right? So this is our method. This is method which is used to get the report data, right? We need the URL of our API, private report API URL. Private report API URL, HTTP colon, some localhost colon, some 8081. This is my report API URL. From this, I need to send the request for the report API. Okay. So how to send the request for the report API? We need to write the logic here. What is the logic? This dot HTTP client dot post method we are going to write. Okay. We need to send a post request for that method to get the data. Okay. So report request, whatever the response we are, whatever the form, that data form data we need to send, and we need to get that response, right? So instead of that, if I go for get request, get off report response array, we are going to send the get request URL, get request I'm going to send. What is the URL? Report API URL. That means $of this dot report API URL slash report comma report search criteria we are going to specify. Report no overloaded matches this call. We need to specify this. Okay, then let me go and return. So this is the method which will send you a get request with the data, and it is going to get the response. All right. So this is one method we are writing in the service layer. So we need to call this method in the component. We have created the component for the reports. Report component is created. Component TS file is available, and component HTML file is available. In the component TS, we need to inject the service object. We need to call the service method. In the template file, we need to prepare the form to display the form. For that form, we will write a function in the component. When I click on that function, I should get the data from the backend. That backend data we need to display in the front end like this in the table format. So that the pending logic is there. So the service layer, up to service layer, we are good. We need to write the logic, implement function in component class, design report page in template file. So these are two things we need to do so that report UI will be ready. We have created a new component, and we created request and response binding classes, and we have created search criteria. We created report response class. We created a service, create report service, and write logic to make backend call using HTTP client. That is done. Then with this, we are creating a service. In that service, we have implemented the logic to make the backend call. And now we need to implement logic in the component, and we need to design a page in the template. So that part we will see in the tomorrow morning class. So in the tomorrow morning class, we will complete the UI for report API also. So these 2 points are pending. Writing a function in the component and designing a page in the template file. Designing a page in the template file. What page you need to design? This page you need to design. plan name drop down, plan status drop down, gender, and start date, end date. Click on search. When you click on search, so it should send the search criteria to the backend. Backend will give the response. Response we need to display in the front. Are you able to understand? Account management is ready. The report UI we are going to download. And guys, some people who are interested to attend the interview tomorrow for Java backend fresher requirement, I'm going to share the details in the group now. In another 5 to 10 minutes, I will share the tomorrow interview details in our WhatsApp group. It is face-to-face interview. The people who are in Hyderabad location, they can attend that interview. Okay. I'm going to share that information. All right. So I'm going to upload admin UI development document. So the complete logic is available, which is used to develop the admin UI. The report UI is pending that we are going to do by tomorrow. Tomorrow I will upload that page as well. Now I'm giving the notes for this. Admin UI development, Angular UI. Let me upload. Yeah, I have updated the document, guys. So could you please open that? Yes. So step by step, I have given whatever we have done for admin API, including the navbar and all, everything we have given here. If you just follow these 18 steps, if you just follow these 20 steps, you will be able to build a application like this. Tomorrow, I will update the document with the report UI also. Report UI is still pending. We need to complete this area. Once it is done, I will update that also in our document, so that by following this document, you can create Angular application. By following this document, you can create Angular application. Anybody having any questions on this?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, one interview question, sir.
Yeah,
sir,
please.
what is a class loader? So how to explain in interview?
Class loader is a component in the JVM, which is used to load our classes into JVM's memory. Bootstrap class loader, application class loader, and system class loader. Some class loaders will be available. Okay. So whenever you run the Java program, JVM is going to load your program into its memory to execute that program. So the program, the JVM itself will use one component called class loader component to load our dot class files into JVM's memory. You can simply Google it, sir. What is a class loader? What is a class loader in Java? N number of examples you will get. Class loaders in Java. Java class loader. Java class loader is used to load dot class file into JVM's memory. Bootstrap loader, extension loader, system class loaders are available. These are the three class loaders that are available in the Java. They are used to load predefined Java classes and user-defined Java classes into JVM's memory. Got it. That is very basic question.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, hi.
Sir, can you send important logical program for experienced people, because every interview asking one logical program. Can you send important logical program question?
So what logical program they are going to ask in the interview? We can't guess those things. You can use a hacker rank to get such kind of logical programs for the practice.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Fine, guys. Good. Thank you. With this, I'm stopping now. We'll meet in the tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, we'll complete our UI development for the report API. So I updated the document. Please follow the document and start creating Angular application in your local. Thank you guys. We'll meet in the tomorrow morning 9:30 class. Bye-bye. Good night. I will update the interview details in the group. So people who are interested, they can attend tomorrow face-to-face interview at Gachibowli.